Hi, I'm Bart Hansen, the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. I hope you enjoy the following hand that I recently played. So, this hand that we're going to take a look at today happened about halfway through day 4 of the LAPC main event at the Commerce Casino, which was held in February of 2017. Now, the villain in this hand is Rainer Kempe. If you don't know who that is, he's got over $9 million in live tournament winnings. He also won $5 million for first prize at the $300,000 High Roller Bowl at the Aria in 2016. And he is a very, very good player. Now, he had just been moved to my table maybe a half an hour before, and we were playing 2-hour levels. We were already pretty far in the money, with about maybe 45 people left out of, say, 504 people. We get into this hand, which was at 5,000, 10,000 with a 100 ante. Now, he started the hand with 550,000 for about 55 big blinds. I covered, I had 800K, and it got folded around to him on the button, and he opened for 2.5x to 25K. Small blind folded, and I looked down in the big blind, and I had pocket aces with the ace of diamonds. Now, a lot of times when it's button versus big blind, you will just defend with a wide range because you're getting a price because of the antes, but you definitely want to 3-bet some of your value hands and maybe some of your hands that won't play great post flop, but if you do call, will have some playability like small suited connectors, 4-5 suited, things like that. So I 3-bet, and I 3-bet pretty large because I know that he is good enough to understand that he's going to be getting pot odds with the antes. So I actually made it 80,000. So 25K on the button. I 3-bet to 80,000. He thinks about it for a little bit and he makes the call. What's kind of interesting is that there was only maybe 1 or 2 minutes left in the level before we went on a break, and these were long levels. They were 2-hour levels. So we're heads up, and the board comes out, king of diamonds, 10 of spades, 6 of diamonds. Again, we've got pocket aces with the ace of diamonds. I decide to come out and I bet 100,000 here. He doesn't think about it for too long, and he makes the call. Now, this is kind of interesting because he can't have the ace of diamonds in his hand. And I start to think about the hands that he would raise with and then also call a 3-bet with. I've got 2 of the aces, so ace queen, ace jack is probably unlikely. Could have a hand like 8s or 9s and be kind of taking one off to see, what I do. Something like that. He could also have maybe king queen or king jack suited here as well. Possibly a hand like ace-10 suited, maybe, but I think that that's sort of what his range was. The turn is the 8 of diamonds, so it completes the front door flush. This is really interesting because I've got the ace of diamonds in my hand, so the question here is, what do you do? He can't have the nut flush draw because I have it. It's probably unlikely that he really has a flush here. The way that this hand went down, like a queen jack of diamonds, a queen 9 of diamonds. I mean, I suppose it's possible, queen 10 of diamonds, but those are all combo draws, and he might actually play those hands a little bit fast. So I was kind of going back and forth or whether or not I should bet here or check. These hands tend to kind of play themselves out a little bit, where it will go check, check, and then I can value bet the river. Also, too, I have the nut flush draw. So, if I bet and he jams, I can get blown off of my hand. If I check and he bets, it's an easy check call. So I check, and he thinks about it for a long time, like 2 or 3 minutes, and he finally checks it back. Now, that's pleasing to me because I feel like right now I have the best hand, and if I can get a clean river, I'm going to make a value bet. So the river comes out, the 10 of clubs. And that is a pretty clean river for me. I mean, now that there are 2 10s out there, I said that there's a possibility that he might have had like a hand like ace-10 suited, but I have the ace of diamonds. You can't have ace-10 of diamonds. The 10 of clubs is out there, so it only really leaves 2 combos of ace-10. I think he's going to bet almost all of his flushes on the turn. So here we're really left with a king or a hand maybe like pocket jacks that doesn't 4-bet, or even pocket queens that doesn't 4-bet, or, a hand that he's holding on with like pocket nines, or if he was getting stubborn with ace queen and he thought he had the best hand. So I thought that this was a clear-cut value bet, and I decided to bet 150,000 here. Remember, I 3-bet to 80K pre-flop, and then I followed that up with a 100K bet on the flop. So, I mean, we're looking at under a half pot size bet here, maybe 30-40%, something like that. I thought that I wanted to bet to get value from a king. While all this is going on, the break has already started. And now we're like 3 or 4 minutes into the break. And it is kind of weird because I really had to go to the bathroom. So after I made that bet and he was tanking for like 3 or 4 minutes, we now only had about 5 minutes left on our break. The breaks were only 10 minutes long. So I don't usually call the clock on someone, but here I actually had to call the clock on him because I needed to actually use the time that was in the break to get up to go to the bathroom. He was actually a little bit, I would say, irritated that I called the clock because he said, this is a big pot. And I said, hey, we're on break. This is the only break that we get. I'm sorry. So I called the clock. They ran the clock all the way down from 60 seconds and started doing the countdown at 10. And he just finally let the clock run out and they killed his hand. From what I've seen, even from some of these tournament superstars, I just find it very difficult to believe that he folded a king, a hand like king, queen, king, jack. It is possible. I know he's an outstanding player, but I thought that was definitely an interesting spot and a clear-cut value bet for me, even though I didn't get called. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA100. Click on the link right there.